Hi and welcome to the Art of Tarot. This is a reading for Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus and Mars for February 2022. Yes, we've arrived in 2022. Crazy. I am excited to start another year here on this channel and look into your cards for February. This is for Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus and Mars. Check out the description box for everything you need, all the information that you need, the card decks, the ways you can support this channel and so forth. Please like, subscribe, comment, and we get started. So in the beginning I talk about channel energies, second part I talk about relationships, so stay with me, and in the end I will also draw some charms. Pull some charms. Okay, Taurus, this is an interesting month, very interesting reading. We start with a 7 of Pentacles, then we go into a 9 of Swords, then 6 of Cups. We have the Prince of Wands in reverse on the bottom of the deck. So there is some sort of energy with the Prince of Swords, Prince of Wands, I'm sorry. That is about, I feel like there is a wish, a desire to move forward, but the direction is somewhat unclear. So there is this inner tension, maybe a little bit, where you feel like, okay, I really want to move forward. I feel like there's this fire within me that wants to just go, but I'm not quite sure in which direction and what I want and how to move. It's a little difficult to step into action and to also step into an energy that is confident in your direction. I see this really developing throughout the month here with this picture, because with the 7 of Pentacles you come into a place in the beginning of the month where you're gonna look at what you've built so far, what works for you, what doesn't work. I always say the 7 of Pentacles is a card for me of healthy self-criticism, that is constructive and that is helpful, where you can maybe find little mistakes, or where you can find the parts of what you build that can be a little better. The 7 of Pentacles, it's important to remember that not everything you build is bad. We try to, or we tend to criticize or be overly critical about ourselves when we don't do the same thing with others. So just make sure you're gentle with yourself in this process. But it's important to take a step back, to really look at what you've built so far and what works and what doesn't. Also when it comes to love, but I also see strongly a work environment kind of situation, or in general, like your life in general, you know, as a whole. Like what have I built? What are the results? Where do I live? Who am I with? How do I feel in my body? How is my job? How is my surroundings? It's very like a physical world kind of card. So you're really looking at the results and looking at what you want to maybe optimize. So the 9 of Swords here, I think that's why I said be careful with the 7 of Pentacles, that you're not too self-critical, because I have a feeling that there is a moment throughout the month where you will feel like there is a problem. It seems like there's a problem coming up that might not even as big as you perceive it to be. But for a moment, it will really have a huge significance in your mental process. So make sure that you're not self-destructing when you're in your head. With these two cards in combination, even though they're upright, I would just really be careful not to, attack yourself, or like, oh, I did everything wrong. Everything is my fault. Why is nothing working out? Blah, blah, blah. I'm a failure. Don't do that. It's the only thing I can say. Don't do that, because it's not as it seems. You've looked at things very rationally, and you also know with the 7 of Pentacles, we know, okay, we've done some things right, because we have 7 Pentacles out of 10. So it's not that we don't have nothing, you know, we didn't just fuck everything up. It's you did a lot of things right, but there is always things you can, you know, perfect and do better. And that's basically the whole idea here of the Seven of Pentacles card, to figure out what you can optimize. The Nine of Swords, again, can bring up fears, can bring up intense mental activity where you feel like it's hard to calm your mind down. So make sure you find some activities or some self-care methods that help you sleep, that help you keep your mind calm as much as possible. By the end of the month, we have a Six of Cups, which is a good sign, I think, where you come back into a feeling of trusting yourself, feeling comfortable, feeling safe, feeling secure, feeling protected within yourself. Also maybe working with past memories to understand where your safety spot is, where your safety environment is within yourself and also with other people maybe from the past that make you feel safe, secure, protected, or experiences. I also see experiences. Maybe look at pictures, look at how far you've come, you know, and how long your way has been, and how you actually arrived now back into a very balanced state, emotional state here with the Six of Cups. So the Six of Cups talks about also reminiscing, thinking about the past, and it's kind of a nostalgia card. So that's maybe an interesting fact here for you. So with the relationship situation here, we also have, I think, something coming up from the past that might trigger you for a second. It really looks a lot to me here with the Three of Swords, Two of Swords, that you are dealing with a fairly new situation, maybe maybe you're talking to somebody, because we have all these swords cards here, that might bring up some old patterns or wounds that still need to have a little healing applied, you know. So this might not even have to do with this other person or this new person. This might be things from the past that you're releasing and letting go. With the Three of Swords in reverse, I feel like you're releasing some sort of old pains, some sort of old triggers, and this person actually could help you, or this connection can help you release those sort of wounds, not wounds, like pains. But yeah, with Three of Swords in reverse, for me it's a card of healing, and of bringing things to the surface that need to be released. With the Two of, and it could be that this person is just not communicating here, and or taking communication very seriously, and is very precise in communication, doesn't want to say a wrong thing, and takes their time to make a decision of how to move forward and stuff. And that's a good thing, because that just means they are very aware of what they are saying, and they want to be intentional with their words, and therefore they might sometimes retreat and find the inner peace and the inner understanding of themselves and what they want to say and what is actually going on in the situation. It's the Two of Swords energy, because it's much this card, it bothers me often when people are just like, it's a decision, because you can say that with many cards in the tarot, you know, and it's just a little more complex than that, because it's the Two of Swords is really about looking at all the sides of a situation, and it's very connected to our emotions as well, in a sense, because it's the Moon in Libra card. So it's about also analyzing your own emotions, and that's a good thing, you know. If you don't want to hurt somebody, you better think before you speak, and that's kind of like the situation here. With the Two of Wands, you could be dealing with an air sign, or a fire sign. I see fire sign strongly. Be careful that you're not dealing with a player, with the Prince of Wands, just saying doesn't have to be, but somebody who doesn't know what he wants or she wants. But also this could be you, you know, like you're maybe unsure what you actually want in a relationship, because we have the Two of Wands here, and this is very much about stepping into action or thinking about how to step into action and making a plan. And it's, for me, always comes up a quote of Sigmund Freud, actually, with the Two of Wands, which is thought is action in rehearsal. So with the Two of Wands, we're exactly in this kind of energy where we are like thinking about what to do next. So we're actually already actively we're already stepping into action by thinking about what to do, if you know what I mean, because thinking is an act, in my opinion. Yeah, so that's I think there will be a moment in February where you're like, okay, this is what we're going to do, this is how we're going to proceed in this connection. It seems like a fairly new thing where there is not too many emotions involved yet. If emotions come up, or if like triggers come up, just make sure to be aware that it might be something that is that you're carrying from the past, that not this person is responsible for. And I feel like they're very careful about how they communicate and what they communicate. And that's a good thing in this case, even though that might, you know, that often triggers us if we don't get the communication we want. If somebody is a little cautious and careful how to move forward, that could trigger us. But yeah, it's difficult because I can see both sides to that problem. And I've definitely been in both positions in that situation. So yeah, make sure you are not dismissing a person just because they're not openly, constantly having a flow of communication, because you know it's not about. It's always quality, not quantity. If a person is just talking, often that's the people who want to confuse you or are not really serious or not very aware. So just, you know, be careful to not dismiss something just because it triggers something that might not have to do with the situation itself. So 5 of the 5th house. This is the Astro dice that came out. Actually, I want to... Okay, the 5th house is important because it's about romantic self-expression, also self-expression, how you bring yourself into the relationship, what is it that you want, where is your desires, where is it fun, where is it playful. That's all the 5th house when it comes to relationships. But let's throw them again because I feel like there is a new energy here. Yeah, see Taurus and Uranus. Oh yeah, Uranus is moving direct. So that's happening on the... Oh no, that's not. That already happened in January. In January, Uranus moved direct on the 18th. So maybe you felt a switch already in January, on January 18th. Or will feel it if you're watching this earlier. That brings some sort of decision making also. But also on February 17th, there's a nice sextile with Uranus and Jupiter. And that could bring a positive aspect here when it comes to your personal growth also. Because Uranus is in your sign and Jupiter is in Pisces, and you could really move yourself closer to your dreams. This is beautiful. So there is some Uranus action going on in your sign that will, I think, also play a role in your romantic life. And we have 2nd house. This is your house, Taurus. Wow. Okay. Yeah. So pay attention on January 18th if you're watching this before that. Also pay attention on February 17th and how things might develop in that time. And that is a good direction. That is definitely a good direction. Then there is the north, the true node. The north node is also in Taurus. So we do have a lot of Taurus action going on this February, where things really pull you more and more and more into yourself, if I feel like. And this might be a little bit of a for Taurus, for a fixed sign, a little bit of a how can I say that? I don't want to say difficult because I don't want to scare you off, but let's call it how it is. It might be a little bit of a difficult process. Okay, so let's look at the Destroyer card, which is also very fitting for this reading. And I will look into the book and read from the book. This is a good book. I can really recommend this deck very much, and especially the book. It's really, I have all 3 decks of this creator, the Wild Unknown, but this is definitely my favorite, most sophisticated favorite deck. And also I think the illustrations are beautiful, the artwork is beautiful. All right, the Destroyer, the Savage, the Unexpected, the Rejected. The Destroyer, the final of the 3 archetypes in the trio of existence, has necessary yet painful work to do in the world. Culturally, we have an aversion to endings, and we hang on to permanence as a signifier of success. Yet, the Destroyer pulls the rug out from underneath relationships, jobs, homes, and all forms of security. It's the part of us that wants things to end. Its painful orientation is to uncover our true purpose, and that's what I just mentioned before. You're stepping more and more, you're pulled more and more into yourself. You're not stepping into it, you're kind of pulled, I feel like, from the universe. The Destroyer does not let us linger long in comforts, as it knows not much happens in that realm. With its piercing eyes, it seeks out stagnancy from a distance, and the rest becomes history. In the old myths, this is the moment when heads begin to roll, the ground opens up, and castles crumble. Hold on for the ride, the Destroyer has arrived. It gives a little bit of Tower card vibes here, but don't fear this. I know this is easy to say, but this can be quite freeing, and the Tower card can be also quite a relief, you know. And it says here, when light, swift and precise blows that redirect our life, when dark, it's self-destruction, negativity, unwillingness to rebuild. And I think this resistance maybe here with the 9 of Swords might bring up those feelings of resistance, you know. And if you want to go deeper, she always, in this deck, she recommends an artwork, which I really like. Look at Robert Rauschenberg's Erased Deconic drawing. I want to look at that. I don't know that. Okay, so in old tales, the Destroyer sometimes appears as a black dog. Other times it takes the form of gods and goddesses such as Shiva, Kali, and Apophis. And then we also have, consider Picasso's statement, even though I don't like Picasso, but okay. He said some smart things, I suppose. Consider Picasso's statement, every act of creation is first of all an act of destruction. Well, okay, that's kind of true in a sense, yeah. So, yeah, nice. I like this. I do. It's very mature energy. Of course, something that you have to deal with on a more mature level, but it's a challenge and it's nice. And for Taurus, I think it's really nice to see, like, not everything is going to be torn down, and my trust in myself is not going to be pulled away on an emotional level just because I have to reorient and recreate and rebuild something. Wow, yes. Transforming your passions. That's what I see. I think you might get a little bit of a different, also a reroute what you're moving towards when it comes to relationships and when it comes to connections. You might be moving more into an attachment style that is about you, yourself, about, how, as we saw before with the 5th house, and we have this yellow pin, and this is solar plexus chakra for me, and this is my attachment pin. So yeah, more of what you actually desire, not what maybe society or what you think you need or what you think you must do to feel safe and secure. No, what do you actually want? And it will bring up, I think, and also heal again codependency issues, things where, or moments where you feel like you're controlled by a situation, controlled by other people, you're too attached to other people. This is this charm for me here. And there will be a transformatory moment in attachment style, I think, and how you're attached to people. And because we have both Venus, copper charms that came out, and this one is the not oxidized one, and this one is the oxidized one. So for me, this is transformation of how you love, how you perceive love, how you perceive peace, harmony, and connection, and romantic love also. And this is attachment again, and this is loose attachment. I think there will be some transformation for you, that with burning off of old pain also and old karma, where you step more into a looser style. This other person, if you're dealing with a specific other person, they can be very healing and very psychic as well. They have a big opening of the third eye here with the crows. So they are seeing right through the situation, and that might even bother you because, I mean, don't we all hate that when somebody else sees things exactly for what they are and we don't want to see it, or we don't want to acknowledge it, and that's why they might not communicate, because they don't want to trigger you, or they don't want to make things worse or hurt you, and that might at the same time be uncomfortable, you know. So just keep in mind that this person sees things very clearly on a spiritual level also, and they have a lot of insight. All right, Taurus, this was your reading. Thank you so much for being here. Please like, subscribe, comment, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.